Everyone, we're gonna tell you about how Bonitasoft integrates artificial intelligence in process-based applications. Saying process-based applications, no BPM solution anymore. Our product, Bonita BPM, is no Bonita. It's a digital platform that allows our users to create their own business applications. So it's custom UIs showing business data with process execution. We also support iterative methodology, like, for example, live updates of forms while in production. We're based on BPM. We take advantage of all BPM benefits. For this add-on we are creating, it's going to be mostly about traceability and continuous improvement. In this improvement, for now, humans are still deeply involved. About continuous improvement, what is for us the difference between BAM and artificial intelligence, where BAM is descriptive statistics, right? You analyze the data produced by the traceability of BPM, and then you combine them and you look at them. So it's an analysis of data from the past. In terms of improvements, what you get is a long loop cycle of improvement, where you have archived data that you combine, you need to deduct the improvements and then act on the long term. So the decision takes time and is based on human deductions. Artificial intelligence gives power deduction, right? The algorithm, they crunch loads of data, they detect patterns, and they apply what is learned on ongoing, for example, instances. So we can anticipate data from the future. So for us, it gives an opportunity of a short loop improvement cycle where you have ongoing instances where you get predictions and recommendations. You decide if the information is reliable, and then you take corrective actions, and while the instance is still going. So it's really short, and it's man-machine communication. We know use cases of decision automation, well, triggering a process, routing a process is available. We want us for now to provide decision support of recommendation and prediction. Why? Well, BPM promises efficiency, but we see delays in process executions because of bottlenecks, of external dependencies, of process design flows, for example. So how can we help provide decision support on a short loop? So the approach is here on the right. We made it a little lighter on the left for the exercise. So we have to define a goal, know the data, prepare the data, choose your model, and then tune the model. So for us, the goal is to, for example, complete each case within a given service level of agreement in terms of time. So we want to predict chances for each open case to finish within a target. If chances are small, a short-term action is needed. And after action, we give the feedback of the impact of the action taken. We want to stay generic, so what we'll use as data is all that is in our BPM events in the Bonita database. We want to stay generic for now, and then we will see how we can go further. Prepare the data, we use the polling, meaning extracting information, events from the database, transform them into single documents, and then inject them into Elasticsearch. Questions on polling should be directed to Nicolas. Choose the model. We have two objectives again, recommendations, predictions. We have considered linear regression, neural networks, process mining, pros and cons. We went for process mining, but not the traditional use of process mining. We went for process mining extension because it works on any kind of process. You don't really need to know the data. It's easy to interpret results. It gives transparency. We've talked about that. It fits our goals, and it offers new potential for further use cases of interest. So thanks to Mr. van der Aalst and others, we turn process execution into a transition system. We use timestamps and path analysis, and we compute chances to finish on time, as well as case duration prediction. Tune the model means test the model. So we are creating an add-on with user interfaces targeting three personas: an operations manager, Omar, the IT developer, Dave, and the platform administrator, Patty. This is for the demo. Now, what's next for us? We want to feed the long loop. So the data that has been generated by the process mining, we want to inject it into dashboards to help, on the long run, detect flows in the process design. And then what's next for us? Well, better prediction. We want our algorithm to be more accurate, including more data. We want to give other predictions, like the end of flow for each case, and also some recommendations, again, next best action or improvement of UX in general. So now it's time for the demo. we picked loan management use case. So again, Omar, the operations manager, is in charge of a team of 6 customer counselors. And his job is to have every loan management application, loan applications to be completed within 2 days. So we hope with this intelligent continuous improvement module, we will help him in his task. So now I hand it to Nico. And by the way, happy birthday, Nico.
Oh, thank you very much. Merci. Thanks to you. So yes, for the demonstration, here is production environment. So here you can see several virtual machines. These are Docker containers in which the Bonita platform is currently running. As Nathalie said, we will demonstrate a loan request business application on top of Bonita platform. Here our customer decided to implement his business application on top of Bonita. And the business logic is held by this process design. So basically, someone is requesting for a loan. Then the request is going through different levels of validation, depending on some business logic. Either the employee can validate the request directly, or the request has to go through some validation committee after some request credit history check. Then finally, a contract has to be issued, signed by the requester, and then the funds are credited on the bank account. This customer decided to implement his application using our low-code UI designer. So here is the application that are available in the platform. The name of the application is Loan Management, and it looks like that. So here the employee can follow all the loan requests that are ongoing in the platform, and follow the progress by using some business status over here on the right-hand side. And we see that we have currently 4 requests, 2 from Nicolas and 2 from Nathalie, because we want to buy some stuff, houses and cars mainly. The employee can also see all the requests that have been closed so far on the platform. So we have a bunch of them. Those are for demonstration purposes, obviously. And by default, the customer decided to sort all the requests based on the request date, so that the employee can focus directly on the one that are the oldest one, in order to try to reduce the time to complete the requests. Now, when it comes to monitor the business efficiency, we have seen several strategies on customer sites. Mainly what our customers do is using our KPI capabilities to extract some relevant data from the process and store everything into dedicated database. Then every now and then they can export the data and send it to the manager, who can use his favorite tools, such as Excel, for example, and make some report and check if all the requests are respecting the SLA, for instance. For more bigger companies, for customers having BI teams, what they usually do is connect directly their BI tools to the database, to the KPI database, and build their own report like that. Of course, all our customers are not big enough to have those kind of team. So what they can do also is use our UI designer again and add some dashboard and reports directly to the application if the manager is also a user of the platform. Now, at Bonitasoft, we decided to provide a new way of doing monitoring for business efficiency. And this is by adding a new module to the platform, one which is leveraging process mining and machine learning algorithm in order to give new capabilities in terms of monitoring. So I'm going to show how to install this new module to the platform and how easy it is, and then what you can do with it. And I must say this is a worldwide premiere because this module is not yet released. So as you will see, it's still a snapshot version, but I will demonstrate how it works. Maybe I should show the architecture first, just for the clarity. So on the left-hand side, you have the description of the platform, again with the 3 persona Nathalie mentioned. So on the left-hand side, you have the database of the Bonita platform itself, and then the BPM engine, on top of which we can have some business applications. And what I will demonstrate today is the installation of this new add-on and these capabilities. And this add-on will pull the information from the BPM database to Elasticsearch, then apply some process mining algorithm to it, and also will provide some default applications with monitoring capabilities. So let's switch to the installation process. So Patty, again, the persona who is supposed to install the platform and the add-on is a DevOps person. And so she's used to command line, hopefully. So this is the command line to install the new add-on. So it's only one line of code where you provide some parameters such as the IP addresses of the servers where Bonita is hosted and where you want to put the add-on. And that's it, it's done. So what it has going on during the process of installation is that it deployed more containers, Docker containers, into the production environments. So if you look at that and search for new containers. Okay, this is the two first, so it's easy to follow. So it added these two new containers to the production environment. So one is the Elasticsearch container to store all the information, and the second one is the new module itself with the business logic of machine learning. What we can see also is that now that I have installed the new module, I have a new page, status page saying, okay, the new module is up and running. And if I ask it to pull the database, so it will retrieve all the information from production environment and store everything in Elasticsearch. Okay. So as you can see, it's quite quick to pull everything. And it lasts 8 seconds to pull all the production environment into Elasticsearch. And this is when all the process mining algorithm can apply. Now that we have the data in the dedicated format, we are able to build a predictive model. How do we do that? We can use the new application that have been installed by the command line. So we have two new applications. So we still have the load management application. And now we have two more. One for operations management for Omar, the manager who wants the SLA to be respected. And the one for configuration. So this one is for the tech guy to configure the predictive module. So first of all, I have to grant access to those new applications to the user I'm using currently. So I'm going to do some small configuration and say that every member of the platform can access those applications. So
this is done through the administrator portal,
yeah,
right, of Bonita.
So this is not new. This is old stuff. Okay, so I granted access to my user to these new applications. So now I can go to them and configure it. So here you have very small configuration capabilities because we are targeting persona that are not data scientists. So we do not to provide them with a lot of configuration aspect they don't understand. So we try to keep it very simple. The first parameter is the target duration. So the SLA in terms of days we want the request to respect. So Nathalie gave me the specifications during the presentation. It's 2 days. So let's go for 2 days SLA. Now that I've specified this parameter, I can ask the machine learning algorithm to do its magic, so just by hitting the create button. And that's it. It has learned all the data from the Elasticsearch and created a model based on process mining strategy. Now that I have created that, I can go as Omar to my operations management view, and I can see what's going on with my loan requests. So here I'm only considering the request loan process with all the versions. So there is only one version in my production environment so far. And here I have some monitoring capabilities where I can see all the requests and their state. So either they are predicted late based on machine learning algorithm, or they are late, which means that the SLA has already expired and there is no way this request can be on time because it has started maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So it cannot reach the 2 days SLA, obviously. And the one on time are the ones that are supposed to complete within the target.
So Nathaniel is not here, but we have a mobile-first approach for Omar.
So this is, yes, this view can be, I mean, you can use on your mobile phone, on a tablet, or whatever, it's good enough. Okay, so here we can see that those two are very little chance to reach the target on time. And this one is 17%, so maybe this one can be saved. So this is where we want to do short loop actions in order to make this happen. So here the operations manager can interact with the case, with the request, and see the details. And also the timeline in terms of process, where the process is, and see that the task is assigned to Walter Bates. And if Walter does not validate the document fast enough, this request will not reach the target. So here the manager can contact Walter and see what's going on. If Walter has difficulties to validate the document, or if he's missing some information, or maybe if Walter is not available at the moment, and that explains why he's not working on it. So in our use case, Walter is available and can work on our requests. So let's say Walter is available, so I call him and say, okay, Walter, can you work on the request from Nicolas? Okay, so I can go there and see, yes, there are all the documents. So this is my real passport and my pictures. So yes, everything is there. I can validate the requests, okay, and can make the process move on. At this part of the process, maybe Walter will say, okay, I need to go further and see if I can make it go quicker, so I will still work on it and validate the step and so on. So the manager can still look at the operations management view and see if something changed. What you should know is that for the synchronization between the BPM platform and the machine learning, there is some kind of delay. So here for the demonstration, every minute I'm pulling the information to make it quicker. What we will use in production is more something like 15-minute delay, just to avoid the pressure on database, to avoid to request too much database. So here every minute the data is updated, and here it says no, even if you have worked on this case, so you have validated the document, but it's not enough. If you don't work on it much further, it will not be on time anyway, so you have to continue working on it. So you call Walter Bates again and say, no, you need to write the loan contract, please, if you want the case to be on time. So, okay, Walter will still work on it and say, okay, I'm doing it. So writing the contract here in this example is just to provide a rate, so it will be 2% rate, and it will be on 36 months or whatever. And submit. So now in 1 minute or so, Omar will probably see the difference, and yes, that's it. The case is no more predicted late, and now it's on time, with a 100% chance to be on time, because this is the last step in my process. So yes, I'm quite sure it will complete on time. So this is how, with the monitoring, we can try to influence the decision taken by the manager on which request is supposed to be the top priority if you want to respect your SLA. So this is a short-term loop, as Nathalie said. So this is something we can do quickly just by contacting the employee and say, okay, you need to work on this case, please, and make it faster. Obviously, this is not something that is enough, because the employee has not information enough to take the decision and say, okay, instead of contacting me and tell me which one is the priority, can you just give me the information in another way? So that's good feedback from Walter Bates. So yes, the manager can ask the IT team and say, okay, can you provide Walter with more information so that he has the same knowledge as me, as which request is the most important to work on? And the IT can provide some updates of the UI. So I'm going to install the update for the UI. So it's a new page that I can deploy directly on my platform. Okay, so this page again has been created with our low-code UI designer. I will add this new page to the loan management application simply by adding a page, Request predictive. Select the new page. Predictive. Add it. Now, when Walter will connect to the loan application, this is the new page. And what has changed is basically this new column that has been added based on the prediction. And it gives the information, on the priority. So it's two-level priority. So either the request is urgent or it's normal, based if the prediction is it will reach a target or will miss the target. So every request that have prediction missing the target will be considered urgent, and then Walter knows which one to work on in top priority. And that's it for the demonstration. So it gives example how we can use predictions to influence decision made by the users in order to improve the efficiency of the business. Do you have questions? Yeah, I think you were first, so yeah, shoot.
Just to be certain, is this all coming off of your BAM data, or is there other information you brought into the
You mean to build the prediction or to build the prediction? We take everything we have in the BPM database, and basically all the timestamp and all the information regarding previous execution of the processes.
So process mining level data is what you form?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, later on we plan on also including some business data and some information about human resources available.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was really good, thank you.
Thanks.
I was a bit, I was trying to understand why process mining, because you can do this kind of jeopardy prediction without really process mining. You could just look at the history of cases you have, and you can see, okay, reaching this point historically, it's likely to reach the SLA time or whatever. You don't necessarily need to be able to reconstruct the structure of process to do that.
Yeah.
And so do you have, are there other things you're thinking about, which meaning you're doing the real process mining?
Yeah. So the question is, why do you speak about process mining at this stage? Because you can do almost the same without process mining techniques. So that's true. We can do the same just by looking at the history. Process mining, though, gives us several advantages. First of all is the probability to go to one direction instead of another direction in the process. This is something that is brought to us thanks to process mining and the state transition diagram brought with the process mining techniques. Plus, it gives you some transparency on how the prediction is computed. This is something very important for us because we want our users to understand how we can create the prediction. And because the next step for us will be to make some suggestions on what you should do in order to reach your target. And this is where process mining becomes handy because it's useful for prediction and also for suggestions because you can kind of simulate what's going on by changing some parameters, rerunning the prediction, and if the prediction is better, you can use this as a suggestion on an action possible to fix the current situation.
Right.
So this is next step for us. As I said, this is still under development, so maybe we'll get there soon.
Yes, we don't use process mining to reconstruct the process. We know the process at the beginning, right? It's not the same use case. Yeah, the traditional process mining with the process discovery and the conformance compliance, right? And this is what we don't do. We use the process mining extension, which is another use case.
The third one. Yeah. Any other questions? No? So thank you very much.
Thank you.